Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Hello Health Heroes feature on Jovan Puyo. Jovan and I worked before in ABS-CBN together. And after that, we stayed in touch through social media. And I know that a few years back, Jovan was diagnosed with diabetes. And what he did was he gave diabetes the middle finger. Okay, so with us today is Jovan. Jovan, how are you?
Hello, hello. I'm okay.
Okay, so yeah, take us through your ano muna, Jovan. Share with us your diabetes story. When were you diagnosed? What were the symptoms that you felt? You know? And then, what year was that? What year was that?
So I think that was start of 2018. I think January 2018. So January 2018, I visited my cardiologist. So I have high blood and bad cholesterol, and I was like 50 pounds heavier then, no. And so I had my checkup, and then so he asked me to take FBS and was it parang wala pa yata HbA1c, but it's FBS. And then I got the results. I showed him the results, and then when I showed it to him, parang, so this is your, sige, continue your medication on high blood, etc., etc. And then, may diabetes ka pala. Hindi. Wag kang mag-alala. Okay lang yan. Bigyan kitang gamot, papayat ka dyan. That's how it started. And that started my journey.
Oo. Tama, no? Like you said, you were 50 pounds heavier. Yeah, we do remember you as our huggable Jovan sa ABS-CBN. So, Jovan, what went through your mind after the diagnosis? Because hopefully by the time our readers watch this interview, they've already had the chance to watch my interview also with Dr. Ayi Falier, who is an endocrinologist. She is part of our medical panel, an expert panel in Hello Doctor. And according to Doc IE, a lot of patients, after getting diagnosed, they feel like they take it as like a death sentence, and they immediately lose hope. They let go of hope. In your case, Jovan, how did it affect your mental health, your mental state, the diagnosis of diabetes?
Well, it doesn't help kasi that my mom has diabetes, and my mom's mom died because of complications from diabetes. And so when they told me that I had diabetes, I wouldn't blame even the people who are viewing now. I mean, it can be a death sentence. It's actually threatening. And why I was really upset with my doctor when he told me that, don't worry about it. Bibigyan na lang kitang gamot. Parang, to me, that's the same route as my mom eh. And she's actually taking from pills. I think she's taking she has insulin shots na. And parang it's normalizing that. And to me, the effect to me is parang, no, I don't want to go that route. I don't want to. I heard stories of my grandmother having a hidden llanera of leche flan under the bed, right? So parang I don't want to go that route, and there has to be something that I can do to change it. So initially when they gave me the meds, it was, usual, you start with metformin, so that's how you start. They gave you metformin. So sige, I'll take metformin, but I research and look for ways on how I can get out of metformin. Kasi what happens, how I know, and I'm sure the other doctors, they would probably refute what I'm saying, but parang how I'm seeing it is, so you do metformin and it's working. Then after a while, you'll become dependent on it. And then, parang, sige, I'll eat more stuff. And then, suddenly, metformin isn't working. So now you'll graduate to higher meds. And now you'll eventually be doing insulin shots. And parang, what's the main reason why I had diabetes? So I was looking at it, and actually, it's very simple. It's the food I eat. So there. So para it's the food that I eat, and those are para ko, sige, let's do that. Let's do a let's do a 180. Let's do a 180 and change the lifestyle, do a reset. Let's do a reset.
Okay. But how soon were you able to do this? Parang did you need time to simmer after getting the diagnosis? Parang, and then how soon after did you jumpstart the new lifestyle?
Okay. So what happened was, so the heart doctor referred me to an endo doctor. And then the endo doctor, sabi, sige nga, you have diabetes na, I'm gonna take you metformin, etc., etc. So I needed a second opinion kasi that was the heart doctor telling me to take so might as well go to an endo, right? And so the endo told me, you have diabetes na, you're gonna take metformin, and then you go now to this diabetes center sa baba ng hospital, and they'll teach you how to deal with diabetes. I was like, sige nga, let's do it. I went to that diabetes center, and they have this lousy PowerPoint presentation about, this is how you eat, this is what you eat, etc., etc. And I was like, so it's a PowerPoint presentation. Can you just share it to me as a PDF? No daw, because that's proprietary to the hospital. So I was just taking pictures of that. Pero parang, okay, fine. And to me, parang, I guess my whole, and when people are asking me, what happened to you? How did you change? How did you fight diabetes? I was like telling them, it starts really with the mindset na I'm not going to take this lying down. I'm not going to go with the route of my mom. Parang, sige, let's change it. Otherwise, it's going to be the same. And although I don't have kids, parang my nephews and nieces, they will continue this until I prove to them, you know what? No, you can get out of this whole system, right? So it's actually, I'm going to do. It's a mindset change wherein I told myself I'm going to do whatever I can to get out of this, or maybe at least get out of the medicines. So that's how it started.
Okay, so share mo naman, Jovan, parang specifically, how did you change your diet, diba? Did you stop eating rice? Parang ganon. And
yeah.
When you decided to go biking, for example, how did you begin, diba? Parang did you begin with a certain number of target kilometers per day? So parang, let's provide maybe a model. No, I don't want to call it template ba model. Basta pero if there's a patient right now watching this and they feel lost, they don't know how you did it, and they don't know where do they begin.
Okay. So when I started, so yun nga, coming from that wonderful experience of PowerPoint presentation in that hospital diabetic center, I needed to set a baseline on where I am in terms of blood glucose. So I got those glucose testing strips, etc.
Right.
And then usually diabetics would test once a day, depending on the type of diabetes, once, twice a day. I was testing myself on certain points of the day just to set the baseline and find out where I am. Like when I wake up after eating, 2 hours after eating, and then before I sleep. So yung mga ganun. So parang for a week, I put down all the data. And now, I also...
Sorry, Jovan, sorry to interrupt. What type of diabetes were you diagnosed?
This is type 2.
Okay.
Type 2 diabetes. Alright. And then I note down the stuff that I eat, right? And then also I tried to... In that clinic, they had the dietitian, pero they gave you the usual flyer. And I was like, okay, sige. Thank you very much, but it's so, parang, eto, get one and pass, and that's it. So it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I did some research on my own. I read this book, The End of Diabetes. And then I read that. I also consulted with people from life science on, especially the nutritionist, find out, how this is affecting me. And, parang I came to the conclusion that, it's the food that I'm eating. So I had to cut down on the stuff that's making, that caused the diabetes in the first place, right?
Which
So definitely those are your sugar, number one, your carbs, right? So those are the things that I control. And I kinda, so like for example, I controlled my carb intake, right? So I need to cut down before I can finish what 2 cups of rice easily. 2 cups of rice. Now I had to make sure that I measure my rice, and then the rice that I eat is not the white rice that's usually consumed or available in restaurants. No? Kasi white rice, that's refined na, that's processed na. And when I discovered that when I eat that, my sugar level goes up agad. So, I chose para rice that's, I guess, high in fibers, that's how you call it. So, the brown rice, red rice, black rice, etc. So, I tried those, and so that's in my menu. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm eating a lot of vegetables now. Before, wala. I'm a carnivore, but parang sige, you need to put vegetables talaga in your diet. So just lots of greens. Actually, lots of your plate should be colorful. Lots of greens, etc., etc. So vegetables, obviously, no more sugary stuff. So your donuts, your ice cream, your sweet iced tea, your milk tea, your Coca-Cola, those are gone. Cakes, those are gone na. I do have some sweets, but parang it's natural, no? And it's controlled pa rin. I have fruits, so that's the stuff that I eat. And yun, so I figured it's mostly the diet. And then, so I'm into, so diet, you also need to have an active lifestyle. It doesn't have to be like so intense that I'm going to do 2-hour workout. No. How I did it is parang, you know what, you just need to be active for like, I don't know, minimum 30 minutes a day. Minimum 30 minutes a day. For me, it's low to medium impact exercises lang. So I do like, I don't know, spinning on my bike or treadmill, or here I have my elliptical. So elliptical lang while watching TV or whatever. And then I track my heart rate, making sure that yun nga lang, medyo naging I got a bit techy, so parang what's the definition of medium for me? Parang okay, my heart rate should be no more higher than 132 BPM, mga ganun. But you know, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be different for each individual.
Okay. So, did you experience, syempre, lifestyle change, di ba? I'm sure it's not easy minsan for the mind. You know what I mean? Parang sometimes, even if you know it's good for us, even if we know it's just 30 minutes a day, especially with the way we work now, no? Working from home, there's no separation between work and home. Did you ever encounter challenges, like mentally, and how did you overcome them, Jovan, when you didn't feel like it, right? Or parang, I'm too tired. Why would I get on, diba? Too painful to do the 30 minutes. How did you manage those blocks?
Well, when I started, talagang it was so religious na parang I'm going to do this kasi ang kapalit nito is me taking that pill or me injecting that insulin to my tummy. Parang out of the blue. That's my that's the image in my head. But you're right. I mean, during this pandemic, parang the effect is different, I guess, for people. So there are times na not naman cheated kasi I didn't like do ice cream and stuff, but like I did some potato chips. Yun yung cheat. I did, but talaga no, dapat sa akin for me no processed food, so no spam, no bacon, no hot dog. Yun sa akin. Parang talagang I call it healthy living, but I guess that definition is really depends on per person basis.
Okay, so Okay. So, would you say that, ironically, you're healthier now compared to before the diagnosis? Parang was it a wake-up call? Except for the fact that there are certain food that we can no longer eat, diba? To have to stay now within the zone where you don't resort to taking medication, or rely on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you say that after the diagnosis, you actually started living healthier?
Yeah, yeah. I can definitely say that. And actually, because of that, I lost weight. So I told you earlier in the interview, my weight then was, I think, 240. Sometimes, almost reaching 240.
Yeah.
But I lost weight na. I went down to as low as, I think, 175, 178, I think. Now I gained weight kasi because of the pandemic, but I know that I can do it. Na I can lose na weight. And so I'm in that mindset. And it's still it's not finished. I mean, I need to go down to my ideal weight, which is like 140, 150, I think. But
Mm.
but I know that I can get there. I know that I can get there, and with the right mindset.
Okay. So, in a day, so we already understand what you eat. Pero in a day, di ba, you have your spinning, your bike, you have your elliptical, tama ba, treadmill. Um, Now, during the pandemic, which is also when, according to Doc IE, tumaas ang cases ng diabetes, no? Yung levels of diabetes
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Philippines. Paano mo na-manage, Jovan, in a day? Ilang minutes ka, or how do you do it? Do you alternate between the machines so you don't get
Yeah,
bored?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Cause we don't go out here, so we're so praning to go out. So all my workouts are actually here in the house. So I have like my bikes with a trainer, and then we also have a treadmill, and then we also have an elliptical. And there are weeks na tipong, oh, I don't want to ride the bike. So fine, I'll go to the treadmill and then just walk. Or I'll just do the elliptical. Whatever's your fancy. I mean, it doesn't have to be super serious. I mean, there are times na talagang, oh, sige, sige, I'm in that mood. But there are times na thinking, oh my God, I'm going to wake up. But that's okay. I mean, like during when you're working, especially with the treadmill, it's great, or the elliptical, because it's so easy lang. Na in between meetings and you don't have anything to do, for example, which is rare naman what I'm doing now. But but if there are times na you can, then do what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the treadmill, and you know what? At the end of the day, it can be like what, total 45 minutes, which is
Mm,
great. Yeah, which
right.
is great.
When we talk about that, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. So when we say 30, 45 minutes, it doesn't mean 30 minutes straight, right? You can
Well,
squeeze them out.
it's great if it's straight kasi your heart rate needs to go up, right? But you need to partner that kasi with proper diet din also. Actually, what I learned is, you know what? Before kasi, when I was doing the diet, I was doing the diet. Oh yeah. I was exercising lang and exercising. Pero in terms of the stuff that I eat, parang halos there was no change.
Mm.
Parang I learned na parang, you know what, in this journey, parang a lot of it talaga has to do with your food. So mga 80% food, 20% maybe 10% 10% is your exercise.
Mm. Same thing na sinasabi ng trainer ko dati sa gym. It's not
Yeah.
what you do in the gym, it's what you eat. Sabi niya,
Exactly. So you need to control really the intake.
Okay. Okay, Jovan. Well, before we close this, thank you for sharing your story with us. Siguro, your message na lang to our viewers, no? Kasi hello, doctor, readers and viewers are either patients who are feeling symptoms and they're researching their symptoms, or they have been diagnosed, or they are taking care of a patient. No? And it's mainly this year's World Diabetes Day theme. No? 5 yung themes niya, pero what stood out to me is number 1, access to yung self-checking, no? Yung self-care, empowering the patient to take care of
Yeah.
themselves. And another one is access to psychological support, 'di ba? Especially when you were changing your diet, I'm sure, 'di ba? If everyone was eating cake around you, parang I think it takes the support of family then and loved ones. So, yeah, your message to them, please, to maybe encourage them to encourage them, empower them. They can do exactly what you did. You did your
Yeah.
research, diba? Go ahead, please.
Oh my God, I don't know what to tell the viewers. What can I tell you? You can do it. It's going to be tough. Actually, it's tough for the first week. In terms of doing the diet, it's tough for the first week. But after the first week, parang the cravings for all that sweet will be gone, na? Well, not naman gone, but it will slowly fade away. Slowly fade away. So you can do it. What else pa ba? I guess try and consult your doctor. Don't just accept what they say. I know there are doctor audiences here, but don't accept what they say. Kasi it's still your body. And so you just provide, I guess, you get that information and then you try to process it. And if you I don't know what to say, Kai. Parang, what's my message? Kasi what I did was I did actually experimented on myself and found out what works and what doesn't. So I guess together with a health professional, maybe you can do that. Maybe, but it may not be applicable to everyone. So check na lang with your doctor. That was my goal. Do research. Maybe do an experiment with yourself. Parang set your baseline. See what works, what's not. You know naman the scientific method. So parang, sige, you have your baseline and then I do this, what happens, and then you put it on record. See what's okay. And then consult your professional.